चलिए. Hello friends, a very warm welcome to this session on economics on Ansarkari, where again we are going to pick up a couple of very important questions and try to understand from different perspectives how the best one can approach, because there is no single way, and we will try to see that whether it is fitting with some good and adequate knowledge. So let's start. The first question says very simply, but in fact, a very, I should say, a very significant question. State the basic features of Mahalanobis model. PC Mahalanobis, a legend, a giant, an institution in itself, founder of Indian Statistical Institute, and the one who created the benchmark in the first decade of our independence, that how economic tools will be used and what kind of economic tools are required, how you are going to measure, not like today's time when we are having a lot of matrices and lot of surveys and lot of ways to gather data. At that time there was no such thing like that. So in such circumstances, what were the basis used by Mahalanobis sir, that he created such tools which helped us, to create systems, whether it is fire plan, whether it is agriculture, whether it is heavy industries, whether it is annual survey or so forth. Let's see what are the elements which are the key features reflecting Mahalanobis model. Blueprint for India's industrialization post-independence. Agreed. Okay, that I agree. Heavy industrial base was set up. Second fire plan to fifth fire plan, that is 1962. Okay. Jamshedpur hub of iron and steel. Khetri hub of copper mines. That is the basic feature. Backward forward linkages not to be import dependent as learned from agriculture sector. That means we believed in import substitution. Electrical component manufacturing and raw material source from Tisco. Okay, capital asset creation through public capital expenditure, budget, Harold Domer model of growth, ensure stable economic growth as agriculture suffered from disguised employment and Hindu rate of growth, 30% of GDP. Few challenges in the broader policy framework included license Raj for industries, industrial policy faced bottlenecks due to political bureaucratic nexus, restrained flow of labor from agriculture. Therefore, it was because Mahalanobis model coupled with LPG reforms 1991, India is treading the path of industrial revolution 2.0. I think, yes, it is true. The model, that the basic features of model that you are reflecting, all the features are correct, I believe, and they are definitely reflecting what you were saying, because we don't have to write exactly technical things. And I like the conclusion also, because it is reflecting upon the fact that it is linking with the future words. And Mahalanobis model, when it is saying that that development is there, or for that matter future growth for India is there, that's what he was proposing. So any kind of theory, or any kind of in mixed economy, for example, India followed mixed economy, so he had certain kind of understanding of that what model we are following. That idea is also coming up through you are talking about Harold Domer model of growth. So I think really simple basic features are they are definitely visible. But I would just say, if I would have been reading about him, some facts, I would say a little bit of more, one or two more facts, and I think it's on track as far as language is concerned, as far as simplicity is concerned, and as far as non-glamour approach of the answer is concerned. So it's simple, clear, and to the point. I must be appreciated from that perspective. Only I'm saying that if I'm reading about Mahalanobis sir from, say, for example, Wikipedia, or if I'm reading from somewhere, so if I get two or three some comprehensive facts, that would be amazing.
जी सर
Okay, let's see how is development looked upon by A.K. Sen in terms of freedom and poverty as unfreedoms. Point out his narration of 5 dimensions of poverty. So if one is aware of it, one can write. If one is not aware of it, one cannot write. As simple as that. That showcases that questions comes up from the different parts of syllabus. We are covering all parts with time. AK Sen revolutionized the way of looking at poverty beyond the low income status that gave birth to the idea of multidimensional poverty as postulated in his capability approach. I think wonderful start, good start, very comprehensive. Development is a qualitative aspect of implications of economic growth beyond numbers. Human Development Index. Freedom is both means and ends to achieve development. Poverty is viewed by him as an unfreedom if you do not have access to education, quality healthcare, or opportunity to participate in society as measured by happiness index. Dimensions of poverty. Poverty, political freedom, universal wealth franchise, freedom to choose, political representation, economic opportunities in a fair and transparent manner. For example, choice of livelihood, concerns of migrants, one nation, one ration card. Good example. One social development, social activity, social security benefits to informal sector via Atal Pension Yojana, transparency, freedom from corruption, and protective security, unemployment allowance. The CKCN was awarded Nobel Prize for his contribution to the welfare economy. So I think again here also we have taken up all the aspects, and the only thing what more we could do here is that, for example, if there is someone famous book by A.K. Singh sir, if there is some famous book, then we must quote that book because it is book because the question is completely on him only. Secondly, if he is giving certain kind of advice, for example, economic opportunities in a fair and transparent manner, you are saying so one nation, one ration card is a wonderful thing. Atal Pension Yojana is also wonderful thing. Transparency, freedom from corruption. So what kind of transparency he was asking for, how that was possible, like whether he was talking about technology more in the hands of masses, or he is talking about more accountability and more openness by the government, like what he is exactly saying means
Particularly in the
the
context of welfare economics only, that is why I've
हाँ
specifically mentioned
तो आई
corruption.
थिंक ठीक है, बहुत वो है पर बिल्कुल ठीक है, सारे पॉइंट सही है, बट एज आई एम सेइंग इफ वी ब्रिंग द नेम ऑफ हिज बुक एंड
जी
इफ वी ब्रिंग you know certain name of the case study that he did, one case study done by him, ऐसा करके कुछ भी लिख दो, कलकत्ता यूनिवर्सिटी, हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी, कुछ भी लिख दो, तो आई
जी
थिंक दैट and then one finally we can say not just Nobel Prize, we can say that the that his approach greatly impacted Indian policy making, and जैसे अब बाद में फूड फॉर वर्क प्रोग्राम है या फिर वेलफेयर इकोनॉमिक्स जैसे आप कह रहे हैं, राइट बेस्ड वेलफेयर इकोनॉमिक्स,
जी
it was reflected. So till 2010 one can say his ideas concretized, and that's how things happened.
जी सर।
चलिए, what are the components of land reforms in India? Has it been completed? If not, then what are the obstacles? Wonderful question coming up in GN studies also, coming up here also. I think good question. So components of land reforms, very important. Economic components are there. Political component is there. Like we can write a couple of things. So land reform constitutes the first major structural reform in post-independent India to realign agriculture, economy and reduce poverty because India was an agricultural country. भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश था, बात खत्म. Components: abolition of zamindari to catalyze farmers, connect with market forces in Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, ऐसा करके आप लिख सकते हैं. Tenancy reforms carried out in not in one way but in a gradual manner to protect the rights. Land ceiling to ensure equitable growth in Kerala and West Bengal. The acts were there. We must write that. Consolidation of fragmented land to resolve challenges faced by marginal farmers. Efforts made by central governments and also by programs like which like Bhudan or Gramdan wo tha. Status of completion: only one of the goals of zamindari abolition fulfilled in letter and spirit. However, modern zamindari, that is middleman आड़तियाज in APMC mandis, led to corrupt practices at few places. No, few places तो नहीं, थोड़ा ज्यादा है. और आप इसको rephrase कर सकते हैं that modernization is taking place in APMC. That is why उल्टा भी हो सकता है. Land Ceiling Act, but the ceiling limits vary in every state, which creates बिल्कुल same fragmented land still exists with 80% farmers owning less than 0.4 hectare land. Bodhan and Gramdan movement, you have written it, so that's fine. Couldn't make both the ends meet. Struggle with structural economies. Tenants suffer from seasonal employment and rely on allied activities to survive. Therefore, it is correct to unleash Land Reform 2.0 being led by PM Swamiti Swing, use of drones in digitizing land records across India. I think very good conclusion, very positive conclusion. And points are also very simple and they are just reflecting upon what was there. I think fair enough. And we can draw something, a little bit of pie chart kind of thing. And we can just show something. So that's what we can do.
जी सर।
An underdeveloped money and capital market has been a major cause of slow economic growth in India. Wonderful question. In the light of this statement, relative importance of financial sector vis-a-vis real sector in Indian economy. So again, a question of applied understanding. So money and capital market forms twin balance sheet advantage in a country that ensures broad economic growth, as stated by Ashima Goel, MPC member. Relative importance of financial sector: money plus capital market constitutes bank, shares, bond, goods and services producing sector, agriculture, industry, services. Symbolic relation: formal credit to real sector MSMEs, greater loanable funds, quantity theory of money, monetary policy efficiency is dependent. Fiscal policy forms the backbone of it. Aggregate supply side of economy, that is Friedman. Aggregate demand side of economy, Keynesian economics. India's growth is 60% driven by consumption demand. Eco survey. Both sectors complementary and fundamental to achieve potential growth GDP by 2047. Digital revolution will turn futile if financial sector lags behind. Therefore, both the sectors have unleashed remarkable growth post 2015 and catalyzing towards it. I think fairly enough, good return. Points are very clear. And what more we can do? We can bring a body, financial sector regulation body was there. For example, there was a body. In case of real sector, we can bring the role of RERA, real estate regulatory authority. So
जी
by
सर.
bringing both these, we can showcase that how we are trying to develop, mature the market, which will be automatically helping in the development of capital market both primary and secondary. So I think simple, clear, and forward looking, non sensational, I would say, is the point. Coming to the next question: a close connection between the finance on one hand and politics and admission on the other hand, and the influence of the later on the former cannot be avoided. Very true. This is all more true in India. Do you agree with this statement of C. N. Vakil? Okay. So, why again? This statement is more applicable in the liberalization era. This is very important in the post-liberalization era. That is what the government is trying to do, and that is what the goal is. Without meeting this goal, India cannot become a developed country. Simple. So
जी
finance, politics, and administration forms the three ratna of stable and resilient growth and economy, as stated by OECD. It is true in case of India because of India being the largest and thriving democracy, largest population, parliamentary form of governance, where a principal distance is also maintained. Political and bureaucratic class interdependence is there. The road to develop country states India requires. बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. चलिए आगे चलिए. Politics is a link between finance and administration. बिल्कुल ठीक है. Political class formulates budget, administration implements in the forms of schemes and policy. Political class is people representation, but administration response resolve the issues through formal process like MyGov app. The relevance still exists and will continue to exist in future. Only nature changes with evolving growth. It is the basic structure of Indian economy and polity. So I think very simply written, but it has, I think, become a little more simple. If we go back to the question again and we try to see that how we can make it more comprehensive, because it is saying one close connection between the finance and politics and administration on the other hand. So what we can say, for example, loan waivers. Loan waiver is finance. Asking for loan waiver means allowing for loan waiver is politics, and obviously RBI and state governments are implementing it. So loan waiver is a very important example. Secondly, free water and free electricity is being provided to farmers. That is also, another example which you have to showcase in a positive light. And third, very important example, how industrialists and the big entrepreneurs, they are getting a lot of money and credit, and then how government of India is now actively trying, especially in the post independent times, not to get the money stuck up or not to showcase it as NPA, but to make sure that the business thrives and there is insolvency and bankruptcy code, and there are due diligence and guidelines practiced in it. So it is not ट्रू फॉर इंडिया टुडे. सो वो हमें दोनों पार्ट में लेके आना है. पहले में आप लेके आ सकते हो, जैसे मैंने बोला, इसको दोनों पार्ट में हमें करना था कि फाइनेंस, पॉलिटिक्स और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का क्लोज कनेक्शन था. पहले भी था, आज भी है, लेकिन पहले इट वाज मोर लॉपसाइडेड. दैट इज व्हाई प्रोजेक्ट्स took gestation period of even 10 years or 20 years and the cost escalated. But today it is more consultancy, and it is more consultancy based, more public what I should say, feedback is there. And then most importantly, there is e-tendering, and on top of it there is a deadline to it. So whether it is highway, whether it is a Chenab bridge, river bridge, जिसका हमने इतने साल पहले सोचा था, तो आपको पीछे और आगे में फर्क करना पड़ेगा, और बाद वाले में आप लेके आइए कैसे टेक्नोलॉजी, कैसे साइंस, कैसे सारी चीज हमें हेल्प कर रही है. तो ये थोड़ा सिंपल हो गया, मैं ये कहूंगा,
हम्म।
लेकिन ऑन ट्रैक है। प्लस पॉइंट ये है, सूदिंग है, सिंपल है, क्लियर है, नॉन जार्गन है, नॉन वर्बोज है, ये सारे प्लस पॉइंट्स हैं। लेकिन इसका थोड़ा कॉम्प्रहेंसिव जब तक लेवल नहीं उठेगा, तो जब तक हमें 60% तक स्कोर आने का चांस कम रहेगा।
जी सर।
लेकिन हमारे बहुत सारे एलिमेंट क्लियर हुए हैं, ये क्लटर क्लियर हुआ है, इट
हम्म।
इज टू द पॉइंट है, it is non-appeasing. That's all what come to my mind, and rest you can just give your feedback.
हाँ जी सर। तो ये जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन में था उसको और ओरिएंटेशन टुवर्ड्स इकोनॉमिक्स हो सकता था, बट
हम्म।
थोड़ा सा मैंने फिर ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट के पर्सपेक्टिव से सोच के उसको वैसे लिखा।
वो भी ठीक है, ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट में भी आपको दोनों साइड लेके आनी है, प्री लिबरलाइजेशन, पोस्ट लिबरलाइजेशन।
हम्म।
ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट इन प्री लिबरलाइजेशन, उसमें क्या है कि ब्यूरोक्रेसी प्लान भी बना रही है और पॉलिटिक्स उसको चिल्ला भी रहा है, तो फाइनेंस कहाँ है?
जी।
लेकिन जो पोस्ट लिबरलाइजेशन है, उसमें अगर मान लीजिए बात होती है कि बात होती है जैसे वधावन पोर्ट,
हम्म।
तो वधावन पोर्ट की बात होती है, देन देयर इज अ पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप विच सेज कि ये होना चाहिए।
जी।
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज आस्क्ड टू क्रिएट ए ब्लूप्रिंट,
हम्म।
एंड साइड बाय साइड फाइनेंस इज रेडी।
जी सर।
और अगर आप कहते हो, उसका और भी एग्जांपल अगर आप लेना चाहें पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस में, जैसे जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, अब जॉब क्रिएशन की बात है, एप्पल ऑर्चिड्स के लिए, फैक्ट्रीज के लिए, लैंड के लिए, सब चीजों के लिए अब एक पोर्टल, एक सिस्टम, एक विंडो है, सिंगल विंडो है।
जी।
सो political leadership is providing an opening, administration is sustaining that opening, and entrepreneurs and common man is asked to come over and to put their best, you know।
जी।
इंडिपेंडेंस में क्या था? सेलेक्टेड पीपल कैन ओनली कम, जिसके पास लाइसेंस है वही कर सकता है, कोई कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस नहीं होगा, कोई इनोवेशन नहीं होगा, कोई ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड नहीं होगा। इनवर्ड लुकिंग था वो, अब आउटवर्ड लुकिंग है।
हम्म।
तो ये आपको लाना पड़ेगा, ये बिना लाए हम टॉप तक उसको नहीं पहुंचा सकते।
जी।
तो दैट्स व्हाट आई वुड से।
हाँ जी
नाउ यू
सर।
कैन समराइज।
यही सर, थोड़ा इंटरप्रिटेशन और ओरिएंटेशन वैसे ही मेरे को थोड़ा सोचना है कि इकोनॉमिक्स
ये
प्योर।
सोच रहे हैं, तो आपने जैसे अभी टोन चेंज किया, जैसे आपने, हमने पहले भी बात की थी अभी, कि आपने बोला सर मैंने सिंपल करने की कोशिश की है, तो सच है ये बात।
हम्म।
आंसर में दम है, और आंसर सिंपल हुआ है, आंसर अनार के दाने की तरह है।
हम्म।
पहले आंसर अनार था पूरा,
हाँ।
लेकिन अनार के दाने अब बाहर आ गए हैं।
जी।
लेकिन एग्जाम को अनार का
जूस चाहिए।
जूस चाहिए, बिल्कुल सही कहा, बस अब
हम्म।
जूस आएगा। यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, यू हैव टू एंजॉय,
हाँ जी
एंड
हाँ।
यू हैव टू परफॉर्म।
हम्म।
Who is more powerful? What is more powerful than the point of enjoyment of following truth and integrity?
हाँ जी सर।
So with these ideas, we'll get back to you tomorrow. We are working on different areas, different pedagogies, steps, and thoughts. And it's an ongoing churning process where we feel it is the fastest way because it is open. It is a pedagogy which is followed in the Western world, especially the, Ivy League and world-class universities, where you have debate, where you have discussions, and churning goes on. And it's an open thing for everyone because you cannot learn it just by mugging up. So there lies the beauty, and we try to do the same through our courses, program, and our interaction. Thank you very much.